Staten Island 1980s. A quiet neighborhood hides a gruesome secret, a mob hitman who didn't just kill, he dismembered. Tommy Karate Pitera wasn't just a Bonanno enforcer, he was a serial killer, a black belt in butchery, and a man who turned Staten Island into his personal graveyard. This is the story of the mob's most terrifying assassin, and the bodies he thought would never be found. Tommy Pitera wasn't your average mobster. A martial arts expert with a black belt in karate, he earned his nickname, and his reputation. Cold, methodical, and utterly ruthless, Pitera didn't just kill for the mob, he enjoyed it. Recruited by the Bonanno crime family, Pitera became their go-to cleaner. But he wasn't content with simple hits. He dismembered his victims with surgical precision, heads, hands, and feet removed to prevent identification. Bodies were buried in shallow graves in Staten Island's All Faiths Cemetery, a place he knew well from his childhood. Pitera's signature? A chilling calm. He once strangled a man mid-conversation, then casually finished his coffee. To his crew, he was a legend. To the feds, a ghost. Pitera's killing spree began in the mid-1980s. His victims, rivals, informants, even his own crew. One associate, Richie, was lured to a basement, shot and dismembered. Pitera kept Richie's head in a bag for weeks, showing it off as a warning. But Pitera's most infamous hit was Bonnie Ilmensi, a drug courier who crossed him. She was strangled, dismembered, and buried in pieces. Her remains were never found. The feds knew Pitera was dangerous, but they couldn't touch him. He was too careful, too smart, and too terrifying. Even mob bosses feared him. One Bonanno capo called him the devil in a black belt. Pitera's downfall came from an unlikely source, his own ego. He bragged about his kills to a childhood friend turned informant, Dominic Fat Dom Borghese. The feds wired Borghese, capturing hours of chilling confessions. In 1992, Pitera was arrested. The trial was a circus. Prosecutors called him the most dangerous man in New York. Witnesses testified about his gruesome methods. One described how Pitera kept a kill kit, knives, saws, and garbage bags in his car. The jury convicted him on 6 counts of murder. Pitera showed no emotion. He was sentenced to life without parole, buried in a federal prison, just like his victims. Today, Pitera rots in a Colorado supermax prison, but his legacy lives on. Staten Island's All Faiths Cemetery still holds secrets, bodies that may never be found. And the mob? They've erased his name. Pitera wasn't just a hitman, he was a predator, a man who turned murder into art, and a reminder, even in the mob there are monsters. And then there's Tommy Karate. Next time you hear mob hitman, remember, some killers are born, not made, and some graves stay hidden forever. Drop a if you think Pitera's victims will ever be found. And subscribe, because the darkest stories, they're always true.